Okay, welcome everyone to Age with Intention podcast, where we explore how to live stronger, think clearer, and age with purpose. Today's episode is especially important for women in my audience. 70% of the women that follow me or clients that I've had in the past are women, and they are over 40, and the health advice often stops working, the metabolism changes, hormones shift, and stress hits differently. You're crossing a threshold. I always say it. You're crossing a threshold to a new chapter of life, but it doesn't mean it's over. You just need to learn how to adapt. So joining me today is someone who has been helping women navigate this transition I'm talking about for years. A 9-book author. Yes, you heard it right. A 9-book author, educator, and a bioenergetic expert, Belinda Norton. Belinda, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Art. This is exciting. All the way from Australia. All the way from
Australia. I was just going to ask, where are you visiting us from? It's Australia. What part?
On the Gold Coast, so in Queensland. So the beautiful East Coast. It's sunny and glorious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's why I do follow you on Instagram, and I see those beautiful sunrises, right? I get the sunsets, and I get the sunsets in California. You get the sunrises, so it's special. I love it.
It's a good share.
Well, why don't you start by introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you to the health and wellness field? I mean, 9 books. I'm sure you have so much to talk about. But go ahead and give us a good intro.
Okay, so I'm the author of Fit Mama. So that was originally published in 2016. That came about because I started teaching physical education. And for some people, they don't understand that health and physical education, we actually understand more about the body than most doctors learn through university. So we go through the entire amount of biomechanics through nutrition and onwards to teach children and students. So we actually have quite a high level of that. And then I've just learnt more as much as I possibly can through experience. I used to be a semi-professional triathlete, Ironman triathlon and sprint distance triathlon. I continue to mountain bike and run. I'm a yoga teacher, therapist, and the future studies I've done are obviously bioenergetics through therapies and counseling for children and adults.
Oh my God, awesome. I'll ask you about bioenergetics in a few, but that's a lot of good stuff there. Funny you say phys ed. I also studied physical education at San Diego State University way back in the 90s. So we have the same field.
Exactly.
Biomechanics, physiology,
Correct.
so much anatomy, nutrition. We have to do so much, even psychology classes we have to take, right? All those courses. And it's funny because one of my favorite professors was Dr. Francis, and he was Australian. So I have no idea where he's been, but he was 70 years old. This is in the early 90s. It's been a long time, but the way he looks like he was going to live to 120. So I wonder what happened to him. That's Dr.
He's probably
Francis.
still alive.
And probably, that's what I'm saying. So Belinda, something I see constantly, and it's confusion amongst women over 40 and 50 years old. Probably going to get some people pissed off. I'm going to piss off some kids right now.
I will, don't you worry.
Yeah, I know. Most of the health advice these women in their 40s and 50s get is online through influencers in their 20s and 30s who have not been past that threshold I talk about. So I always tell my audience, following their plan at 45 or 50 is like pretty much putting race car tires on your off-road Land Rover, right? It just doesn't work the same. So Belinda, why do you think so many women over 40 feel like their bodies are suddenly just shutting down? They stop responding to the strategies that used to work for them, but no longer work for them.
Well, obviously, we know that there's a decline in our estrogen, and everybody talks about our hormone levels. But what actually creates our hormones is what we're consuming. So what we're eating and also our environmental factors. So the key aspects for women over 40 is we've gone through the process of having children. Our children have mostly gotten a whole lot older. So then it's changed our whole environmental and habit strategies. So for example, we now have gone, oh, hold on a second. I've got a whole lot of free time around my body. What am I going to do? Many women also start drinking a lot of alcohol at the age between that 38 to 40. Oh, I'm going to go to the wine party. I'm going to have cheese. I've earned it. So for example, we really do have that mindset at that stage. And it comes back to continuing with the habits and understanding what we're consuming affects every part of our hormones. So I just don't love to blame estrogen for everything. It's actually not estrogen's fault. It's what we're putting in here.
Right. Yeah. So that's why it's harder for them to lose that weight. And many women blame themselves, but it's really I'm going to say physiological and psychological change too, right? I mean, it's not failure. It's just trying to find out what's happening. And like you said, talk about hormones. Many women don't realize that their metabolism is not really broken, because I know they hear at the doctors your thyroid's done. Some of them even remove it, but it's changing the environment, and that way you could help your hormones, right, stabilize. So what are the biggest hormonal shifts that really start around what, 40, 45?
Yeah, they definitely, like, we get the decline in estrogen at 40, absolutely. But it comes back to the fact of our changes in our body at that time. We can't just blame one thing. We need to really look at our whole aspect of our body and changes. We also understand now that completing resistance training is going to increase the progesterone, which is really important for women to stabilize both mentally and physically.
Right. And this is also worrying about the balance of stress and the cortisol, which could amplify with overworkloads, right?
That's right. Well, we tend to get stuck in our head, us women. We've got a lot more to do constantly. We obviously take on that emotional labor from our families and our partners. And so that also affects us at that time. And because with the declining estrogen within our body, then obviously we're going to get more triggered. We also feel like we're a little bit more unbalanced at that stage of our life because it's new. We do have aging children. They're in a different part of our life. We do feel lesser than, I suppose, in aspects of, oh, I've got a little bit more time. What do I do with this time? And we tend to go into the social aspect of that as opposed to thinking, no, where can I harness this love for myself and my body moving forward in the aging?
True. Yes. And I mean, it's an emotional thing as well. And then you have them trying to really figure out what's next in life. So one of the things that I hear a lot is, for example, I hear that they're just like kind of missing something. So they add more instead of kind of removing things. Because when I sit down and talk to let's just say a client, right? In the past, when I used to work with a lot of women one-on-one, they would come up with so many strategies. I mean, it's great, but there was just so much. There was an overwhelm. And basically what we really needed to do was disconnect with some things, like remove things, because it was just so overwhelming. Even though they're no longer young children, they're either empty nesters, as we say, and they're trying, like you're saying, trying to fill their schedule up, but they're adding a little bit too much emotionally, physiologically, and there goes the cortisol levels straight up.
That's exactly right. That's
So
exactly
that
right. Because piling on at that stage, again, a gap filling for our own, whatever part of it within ourselves that we feel empty from leaving, from the children leaving, that's when we pile it in. And, that's where everybody's got so stuck on the scroll on social media now. One really important thing is,
that's right.
women will go to the gym, but I will watch them and sadly watch them just scrolling. And then obviously, as we know, coming from where we've come from, if we aren't actually thinking about those body parts moving and those muscles getting that focus towards them, then it's not going to make any type of difference. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, but if you're in the gym and you're not focusing on that particular section of your body, there will be no changes made because it's brain body.
Exactly. The connection. Yes, that's very important. I see it. I mean, I'm guilty here. I'm trying to multitask, trying to catch up with messages with your social media friends or colleagues, and it's nonstop. And I know women are known for multitasking, driving, makeup, and it's just adding a lot more. And on the phone, I've seen it a lot at the gyms. So busy with so many things when you should be focusing, like I said, focus on that one thing you're doing right now. You teach a lot about bioenergetics. For someone hearing this for the first time, the term bioenergetics, what exactly is bioenergetics and why is it so important after 40? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's just how our cells produce energy. So that is the basis of it. So, how do your cells within your body produce that energy? So, obviously, we're looking at what we're consuming, first of all. But then, secondly, energy creates energy. What many people are told, especially after the age of 40, is, oh, you might need to rest a little bit more. But no, this is the time to power up. You've got time in your
Hmm.
life, time to let's add something a little bit different or something that's nurturing to the body. This is the time to add yoga because you're thinking of those breathwork aspects of getting that more oxygenation into those cells within the body, which is going to produce more energy.
Okay, that makes sense. So cellular energy production, that's going into the mitochondria, I guess, right? We hear a lot about mitochondrial health and how it influences your metabolism. So, what life factors damage this mitochondria, this energy? What do you think? Is it makeup? Is it sunscreen? Is it what is it really? What's adding more to this fire?
Well, we know both of us, we talk about this. It's definitely the sun cream. We know, and you're wearing your orange glasses right now, which meant, we need to get that vitamin D, that beautiful, glorious sunshine in through our optical nerve. I personally don't wear sun cream. I don't wear sunglasses. I use coconut oil and this is all I put on my body. I'm very cautious of what I am putting on my body because that exactly is a toxin. We already have enough around us environmentally as toxins that we have to work around on a daily basis, whether it be the air that we breathe, the food that we're consuming, because it is very difficult to ensure that even, you may be eating organics, but it's very difficult to ensure that you're not putting toxins into your body. So making those choices around that part is really important.
Yes, and that's why it's not really only calories. I know in America they're just looking at calories, everything calories, right? But it's more about how efficiently our cells are producing that energy. So blocking the sun, putting toxins on your body, whether it's the perfume on your neck, whatever it is, it's just not helping that mitochondrial production. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of sense for women who are listening to this. You start loading up more and more things. That's why I'm saying you got to remove some things first before you add more. Even before the supplements. I mean, I'm for supplements, but sometimes we got to say, wait, what are you doing? Let's look at your game plan here. No, no, no. Get out there, get some sun, get some sun. Oh, I haven't seen the sun in 2 weeks. Really? And if
Yeah.
I do, I'm wearing long sleeve, everything. I'm covering my face because I don't want sunspots.
Mhm.
The famous, I don't want sunspots on my face. So
No.
many women try to solve the problem with doing more of what worked in their 20s and in their 30s, more cardio, same foods, more dieting, high intensity workouts with low recovery, which that's another problem, low recovery. So what are
Agreed.
the three biggest mistakes you see? Women over the 40s are making these mistakes. What are the three biggest ones you see? And that's one of the reasons they're probably not able to lose that weight.
Yeah, I would definitely say number one is women tend not to do resistance training because they think that they're going to bulk up. But obviously, we
Right?
know that when you do resistance training, then obviously it's great for mind first because we are constantly in resistance of life. So if we can build our muscles thinking from mind to body, we're able to become more flexible with that. Not only that, we need to be that's going to help you lose weight as opposed to doing too much cardio. We get told, oh no, you just need to, you'll go to the gym or somewhere and you'll be able to just see constantly women walking. And I just think, you only need to add in a couple of body weight exercises and some functional training, and that's going to change your entire outlook on life, physically and mentally.
Yes. I
That would
mean,
be number one.
I call it cargo movement. I see that a lot. There's people in the Mediterranean that I know I visited, small villages. They don't have gyms in every corner like in America, but they also don't do treadmills. They're on their feet walking, but at the same time, they're carrying something and they are picking up logs. I mean, impressive. I'm talking women too. It's part of their daily chores, and then they're always carrying stuff. So even if you don't have a gym, there's ways to do it. There's ways to pick up weights. I don't know if you've seen that famous guy on TikTok or Instagram where he was so poor he made his own gym with car parts from the backyard of
Really?
his house.
No.
Now he goes to the gyms with these big buff guys, and he pretends he's not strong, and he tells them he's mopping, and he's saying, "Can I pick up those weights?" And they're like, "What are you doing, little guy? Get out of here!" And then he goes and he picks up the weights. I don't know if you've seen him. I forgot his name, but he's amazing. So you could do it. You don't really
That's
need a gym either. You could do outdoor workouts. Yeah, ignoring that, ignoring resistance training, ignoring recovery and sleep, right? And getting that stress overload is a big factor. So sometimes the solution isn't actually, pushing harder in the cardio, because it seems like they think they could push harder in cardio. It's really supporting your system differently. Resistance training, yes, do some cardio, get the recovery, and it'll be much better for you. So Belinda, if a woman, someone in the 40s and 50s, again, I keep saying that same age, that's who I'm really
well, that's what I
focused
meant.
on. Yeah, oh, there you go. I thought you were 30.
No, yeah,
If
no.
they want to
I'm
feel strong,
48, so that's okay. I'm 48 years old, so and
20 points. Yeah, there
21-year
you
old.
go.
Okay.
Awesome. That's a great
Yeah.
age. So if someone in their 40s and 50s wants to feel strong, energized, their metabolism working perfectly fine, what main pillars should she be focusing on? For example, like yourself, what are you doing? What are the main pillars you're using?
The pillars of feeling strong with strength, meaning feeling strong and energized overall for the rest of their life. So that definitely comes back to strength training. Because that's going to give us longevity through our muscles, obviously picking up, putting down as we're aging. Next part of that is definitely nutrition, making sure that we're looking at proteins in our body, because we tend to only focus on carbohydrates or quick fixes. That's where we've come from, because you're looking after children. So moving forward, it needs to be that conscious consumption of really high quality food. Our stress management, making sure that we're using our breath work, yoga, and flexibility. Flexibility through the body gives us flexibility through the mind. And those things are just going to be sustainable for us. So I work particularly on habits and strategies. I work on holistic habits and strategies for women and for men. And I think that those are the main pillars.
Great pillars right there. Definitely, you hit all three pillars that I talk about all the time. So that's great. Uh, I do talk about mine. I don't know if you've seen me talk about the seven C's of longevity, and it's pretty much covering a lot of that. I mean, I'll quickly tell you what they are. It's calm, it's connection, what you're doing. Uh, it's the cargo, right? It's a C,
Mhm.
which is loaded weights. It's community, which we haven't spoken about. I've seen that in Europe a lot. I'm not sure if in Australia you come in as a community to eat, so that's culinary arts in community, and obviously staying curious, creative. Those are the seven pillars I always talk about, and I think I see a lot of people missing that. So it's one of the pillars I wanted to add, the community part. But
Yeah.
everything else sounds great. Now, what I'm going to ask you is, which one of your 9 books should we check out first? Because I know there's 9 books, and someone's going to ask me, Art, which one of the 9 books should I buy? So,
Mm.
which one would you recommend as a good foundation for someone to start reading your books?
Fit Mama is definitely the number one, because Fit Mama was written such a long time ago with the exact information that I still talk about daily. It has the exact same training program that I continue to do on a daily basis. The latest one I've written is Woman Pause, or Women Pause, which is also there. So it's about women pausing within their body. And I think that's more towards that 40 to 50 to 60-year-old category that we're speaking to currently today. So those two would definitely be the two that would help everybody.
Is there anything about perimenopause in there?
Absolutely. So, Women Pause is all about perimenopause and menopause. It also gives a little bit of a gauge on what happens within your body periods. Many women don't actually understand what happens and the functionality of their body when they are going through perimenopause, menopause, but even for their own children, don't even understand what happens within their period and how their hormones affect everything around a woman's body. We like this, and men are like this.
Yeah, so I think it's very, like you brought up a good point. If the children, which are already, by the time the woman's in her 40s, 50s, the children are teenagers, and then if the husband knew how to handle this perimenopause, and maybe things would go well,
That's right.
much better than they do. So it's very important for both sides, the entire family, to learn about these changes, the perimenopause, because they go to the doctor, they come out more confused than anything, unfortunately. So that's not helping, not
No.
helping at all. So here's one thing I do in every one of my episodes. So I do this intentional living rapid round where I'm just going to ask you, Belinda, quick answers, first instinct, no overthinking. So
All right.
ready? All
Yep.
right. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise. But I do love a
Okay.
sunset. I love seeing your sunset, but sunrise, watching her that beautiful sun come up, breath work in. I do yoga at that time. Glorious, glorious start to the
Great.
day. Great for the energy.
That's already telling us a lot about you right there. You're an early morning person. Great.
Absolutely.
Dance or sing?
Oh, dance, dance.
Dancing, huh?
I've got a bit of a theme with the dance.
Okay, good. Now, beef tallow or seed oils? Controversial.
Oh, well, see, none because I don't have any. See, oh
Okay.
yeah.
What do you use for cooking?
I use olive oil.
There you go. I love olive oil, and you cannot go wrong with olive oil. So that's a great answer.
Exactly. That's right.
Now, the fourth one, coffee, tea, or matcha?
Can I say all? Oh,
You can.
I
Yeah,
can
you
say
can.
all because I have
No
all at
overthinking.
different times.
I do all
Yeah.
myself too. That's my answer. Now, the last one, barefoot or shoes on the sand?
God, you know, barefoot, barefoot running, barefoot anything. If I could be barefoot for my whole life, I would be. Ground those
I
feet,
added
ground
that
those
one on
toes.
purpose because I was teasing you
I
with
know.
the shoe commercial you were doing. So that's why it
You
was there on
were.
purpose.
Take
Good
your
one.
shoes off, Belinda. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
fine.
So, two surprise ones I like to add. Surprise question number one: what food you'd never give up? Which one is it? No matter if it's good or
Veg-
bad. What is it?
vegetables. Vegetables.
Vegetables, really?
I
Oh,
love
wow.
vegetables. Broccoli. Oh my goodness.
That
I just
was
eat them
easy.
raw. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's a good habit. There you
Yeah.
go. I thought you were going to say Coca-Cola or something very hard.
See, I don't have put anything in my body that isn't going to make my body be fueled perfectly. I know that probably sounds really obsessive to so many people, but
It
I want to
does. I
live as
mean,
long as I can.
yep. It's something. It's That's why it's a lifestyle, right? You're sharing your lifestyle, what you already are accustomed to, used to. And then
Yeah.
the last one. What's a health myth that drives you crazy? A pet
Oh,
peeve.
that, that you'll get bulky lifting weights.
There you go. That's a good one. Okay. That's a big, and it never stops. It never stops. It's just like over and over and over.
You
It's like a
won't.
never ending question from women.
That's
All right,
right.
Belinda. Well, before we close, I have one final question I ask every great guest that I have on. Think of it as a little time machine here for you. So if you could go back and sit down with your 25-year-old Belinda for just 5 minutes, what is one place of advice you'd give to her? Five
Believe in
minutes.
yourself. Believe in yourself. I wouldn't even go back to, understanding any issues with how you grow up or what you ate at that time or changes there because I believe that that's all happened for a reason to get you where you are now. But I would just say have the audacity to just completely believe in yourself. Listen to that intuition because you get the voices, listen to the voices and go, okay, I'm going to go in that direction.
Great. It's a very simple, easy to remember advice there. So that's actually powerful, simple but powerful. So anybody here that's hearing this, this is something for you when you get older there. So we also have guests that are not 40 or 50.
That's
So if
right.
you're listening to this is powerful advice. If you hear it and it's the right moment for you, go on and be courageous, right?
That's
Okay,
right.
so let's see. One last thing you want to leave for our ladies here. Anything that we missed that is really concerning at the moment for women that, I mean, we're going through a lot of changes, not just individually, but socially, I guess, with
Yeah.
the EMFs, the social media, all that stuff. What's a good advice you could give them? Like, give them a good habit to take on.
Yeah, be conscious of what you're putting in your mouth. Every time that you look at something, break it down in your brain to say, okay, that has the ingredients, this. If I imagined that thing broken down in all the ingredients, would I pick that up and eat that with a spoon as the ingredients broken down? That right there is going to help you to go, is this actually fueling me for longevity, for my energy for the day, for my mindset? Is it? Or is it going like, why would I eat that? If you're doing, why would I eat that? Oh, I'm in a rush, then that's not the right thing for you.
So true. Okay,
Yeah.
so for our audience, where can we find you, find your books, look for you for more advice? And I know you do a lot of shows. You have your own podcast with a partner of yours. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Okay, so I also work with Dr. Lana Gervins. She's a psychologist, and we do Unpacked, which is unpacking that body and mind. She works with the mind, and I work with obviously bioenergetics in the body and how to restructure them together. I like to break down what Lana says and speak in really simple terms, so then people can actually harness those bits and pieces, whereas Lana speaks in that beautiful doctor language, which is great for some people. You can find me at www.belindanorton.com. You can grab my Fit Mama book on Amazon.
Okay, good.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at belinda.nx.
All right, great. Well, Belinda, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today and taking the time to come on. I know we're 18 hours.
I know.
No, I was going to say we're 18 hours ahead of you. I take it back. You're 18 hours ahead of us.
Welcome to the
So you're,
future.
you're in the future. You're in the future. It's Saturday
It's
for
so
you.
good
It's
here.
evening here in California. So thank you so much for that. And to our listeners, if this episode helped you, share it with someone else who needs to hear this. We just want to have you inspired to keep going. I know it gets hard sometimes, but if you get strong at the hard part, you'll do well. You're going to be okay. So remember, it's aging. Aging isn't a problem. It's not the problem just because we're aging. Aging without intention is the problem. And I think if you get that straight, that's what we're talking about. It's not just physiological, but it's also psychological. That's why you have a good team there. You team up well.
That's
You know,
right.
with your podcast crew there. I've seen her work. She's great. What's her name
Yeah.
again? Sorry, so they could hear it.
Dr. Lana Gervin, she is the mind doctor.
I'm also following her as well. Great.
I'm so
All
excited.
right. So I will invite you again to
Thank
come
you.
on, and this time we'll go into more of one of your books, and maybe teach us a strategy that you love to share with your audience in the future.
Sounds fantastic.
All right, great. We will
All right.
not take more of your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Looking forward to seeing you. Talk soon.
see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Beep. Okay.
That's good.
That way I remember when I go back to edit it. Okay,
I know
beep.
that's right.